We just completed discussing the overseas voting on 28th of April. Now let's come back to Malaysia and talk about 30th of April, advance voting day. What should the wakil calon do? Singam?
Okay, before we talk about what the wakil calon should do, there are a couple of things I want to mention about the advance voting. According to the regulation, the advance voting should be 3 days or more before the regular polling date. So, Election Commission has decided on the 30th of April, which is 5 days before the regular polling date. The thing is, for advance voting, voters will get indelible ink on their fingers, and what we have discovered from manufacturer of ink, the typical, the guaranteed duration of the ink is 72 hours. Beyond 72 hours, the ink may be there, but they don't guarantee. The guaranteed lifetime is 72 hours, which means strictly the voting should be within 3 days rather than more than 3 days.
But the Deputy EC Director has claimed that the drying ink, the indelible ink that they have can last 7 days and it can dry within 3 seconds.
Well, that's the thing. They may claim, but unless we are able to test it, we will not be sure. So there is an area of doubt there. Nevertheless, there's not something we can do anything about. So let's leave that alone and go to what the wakil shall.
Actually, there is something that can be done because the UNDP for election materials procurement recommend that there should be public open trials on this. That means on nomination day, they can test it and prove it to the public that it can really test this. The excuse they talk so far is about the color of the ink is a secret.
See, the thing is this, we have seen so far that SPR is very reluctant to receive suggestions from any party. Even if it's the UN, they are not willing, although they seem to be receiving instructions from some party. I will not mention which party, but that's all right. So I really don't expect much to happen there. We can talk about it, it's not going to serve any purpose. Let's move forward to talk about the role of the wakil calon. The advance voting is different from regular voting only in that it is on a different day. Based on the Buku Panduan that has been released by the SPR, the process looks pretty much identical to what's going to be happening on the regular polling day. So whatever preparation that the wakil calon is going to do for regular polling is the same preparation that he will do for advanced polling, except that it's got to be 5 days earlier. He's got to be prepared for the fact that it's 5 days earlier, and therefore every preparation that he does must be ready 5 days earlier.
And where would this be held?
They have got various polling stations that have been identified. Some of the polling stations are within the army camp. Some of them are within the police training. Remember, this advanced voting is for the armed uniformed personnel, the army and the police. So these are the various locations that have been identified for the purpose.
I hear this time round they've included the spouse for the police.
The previous time, police spouses were included even though that was contrary to the regulation. So they have revised the regulation and this time around include police spouses, although we cannot understand why spouses should be in advance voting when they are not involved with any election day duties. So that boggles the imagination. But anyway, the SPR has done a lot of things like that. We don't question, we just continue.